Images of an iftar party at the Ghazipur border where farmers have been protesting. Now they've gone viral. According to experts, COVID norms were being violated at this iftar party. Look at these visuals on your television screen. This iftar party was attended by Farmer Union leader Rakesh Tikait. Also seen in these images. You respond. Are social distancing norms being maintained here? Are they being followed here? The video surfaced at a time where the capital is reeling under a huge surge of coronavirus cases and the healthcare infrastructure is almost overwhelmed. Hospitals are left with just a couple of hours of oxygen, in some cases less than a couple of hours. Rakesh Tikait, of course, justifies this iftar party, saying the gathering was less than 50 people and that, according to him, social distancing norms were followed.
लोग डिस्टेंस से बैठे हुए थे और उसमें करीब 50 के तो परमिशन सरकार ने भी दे रखी। उसमें करीब 22-23 लोग थे उसमें वे थे और मिला कोई किसी न किसी को हाथ मिला बैठ के उनका वो था। उसमें कुछ मुस्लिम थे, कुछ उसमें सिख थे, कुछ उसमें दूसरे लोग थे और वे करीब 22 से 35 आदमी के आसपास थे वे सारे।
Well, another 15,000 farmers and their families are en route Delhi border from Punjab. Farmers are also planning to hold a huge rally at Delhi's borders in the next several days. Let's listen in to the Bharatiya Kisan Union's Ugraha faction.
लगभग 2000 ਵਹੀਕਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਚ 15000 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰ ਔਰਤਾਂ नौजवान बहुत वड्डी गिनती दे विच ਇਹ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੱਦ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਭੁਲੇਖੇ ਕੱਢ ਦੂਗਾ।
India Today's Kumar Kunal joins me for more on this big story. So on the one hand, Kumar, we have Delhi battling coronavirus. You have doctors who are advising social distancing. Some say wear a mask even at home if 4 people are there. On the other hand, we have an additional 15,000 farmers in 2,000 vehicles coming to Delhi's borders. How soon will they come? How long do they intend to stay? And could this, God forbid, be a corona hotspot?
Yeah, obviously, if social distancing norms won't be followed, then as you can see that Delhi is struggling against corona. Gaurav, even it doesn't know any border. Although they are sitting on the at the border of Delhi, but COVID doesn't know any border, and hence anyone could be infected by the virus, and that protocol, those protocols should be followed. What Rakesh Tikait is telling, or any other farmer leaders are telling, that they are invincible. They are not actually. They should not be a spreader. Even if they are protesting at a site, they should follow all the COVID norms, all the COVID guidelines, whatever are being prescribed by the doctors or the government. So this is very clear that we are fighting a bigger battle against COVID, and if anyone is not following those guidelines, he or she should be dealt with all the strictness, and that should happen. And although these farmer leaders are telling that we are following social distancing norms, but pictures with which iftar party is happening, you can also see that no norms are being followed.
Kumar Kunal, for the moment, many thanks. It remains to be seen whether the Haryana government, the Delhi government or the central government will do something about it, or will Annadatas actually be at Delhi borders, and will it lead, God forbid, to a spike in COVID cases? Now, as the national capital reels under a massive surge, farmers continue to block Delhi's roads. Sources in Delhi police tell India Today that an oxygen truck en route Delhi's Jaipur Golden Hospital was stuck at the Singh border and had to be escorted by the police. Now, a farmer union faction, Bharatiya Kisan Union's Ugraha faction, has announced a long march to Delhi, which is incidentally underway, with 15,000 farmers in 2,000 vehicles.
Two stark images of the national capital. A desperate scramble for medical attention. Delhi running out of hospital beds, medicines and even oxygen. And on the other hand, protesting farmers have threatened to intensify their protests against the farm laws.
ਲਗਭਗ 2000 ਵਹੀਕਲਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਚ 15000 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਕਾਫਲਾ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਮੀਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਉਸ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਰੱਦ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਭੁਲੇਖੇ ਕੱਢ ਦੂਗਾ.
Delhi police had to intervene and escort a truck number HR66B 9517 carrying medical oxygen from the Singh border. As Delhi hospitals wait with the bated breath for medical oxygen supply, the truck scheduled for the Jaipur Golden Hospital remained stranded at the border and had to be escorted by the police. Hospitals and medical oxygen suppliers have been seeking a green corridor for the movement of oxygen trucks amidst the allegations of being struck at the borders and having to take a long detour to avoid the protesting farmers in Delhi borders. The farmers' groups have, however, denied they stopped a single truck carrying either medical supplies or oxygen, claiming this was a government propaganda to defame their agitation.
देखो हमारा ये कहना है वे पूर्ण रूप से जो एलिगेशन वे लगा रहे हैं पूरा गलत एलिगेशन लगा रहे हैं. यहाँ पे दोनों हाईवे जो गाजीपुर बॉर्डर है ये हाईवे खुले हुए हैं और ये हाईवे यहाँ पे ये 24 नंबर हैं वो 9 नंबर हाईवे हैं और ये पूरी उत्तराखंड उत्तर प्रदेश की लाइफ लाइन है. ये खुली हुई है, यहाँ से पूरी सप्लाई हो रही है.
Farmers, however, insist their agitation will continue and they will not move from Delhi's borders. Haryana Health Minister Anil Vij says the Haryana government will vaccinate the farmers to prevent the spread of COVID.
देखिए हमने फैसला कर दिया कि हम सारों को कोरोना टेस्ट भी करेंगे और हम उनको वैक्सीनेशन भी लगाएंगे. स्वास्थ्य विभाग की टीमें हमने तैयार कर दी हैं. मेडिसिन सफिशिएंट जितनी संख्या में वहां पर किसान हैं उनके लिए हमने उसका प्रबंध कर दिया है.
The question, however, remains as the pandemic spreads like a wildfire and thousands wait for medical attention, will the farmers' agitation only worsen an already deteriorating situation? Bureau Report, India Today.
Maharashtra government has issued fresh orders on Wednesday, adding additional curbs with the spike in COVID cases. The government has announced those passengers who travel between districts will have to be quarantined for 14 days the moment they cross the district border. Public transport has also been limited only for essential services and emergency requirements. Public and private buses will now operate at 50% capacity. Government offices have been directed to work at 15% capacity. Only 25 people can now attend weddings, which will have to be restricted to 2 hours. These guidelines will be enforced starting 8 p.m. on Thursday and will remain in effect till the 1st of May. Earlier, Maharashtra Health Minister Rajesh Tope said, with the spike in cases, there is a huge pressure on the health infrastructure. Maharashtra reported 67,468 new cases in the past 24 hours.
From today evening, a very stricter coronavirus guidelines are imposed in the state of Maharashtra. First of all, no public movement outside their home unnecessary. Most importantly, nobody can travel intercity or inter-district. If there is a huge medical emergency or have to go for funerals, only then people can travel inter-district or intercity. Now, if someone is traveling inter-district, that person will also be stamped for 14 days home quarantine. This is a very important decision which the state government has taken. Now, for the government offices, only 15% capacity of workforce can work in the offices. Rest all will be work from home. if there is an emergency services office, then the capacity can be increased. Now for the marriages, 25 people are only allowed, but they have to complete all the rituals in just 2 hours. If the norms are flouted, 50,000 penalty will be imposed. If someone is found outside roaming unnecessarily, they can be charged up to 10,000 rupees of penalty. Public transport cannot be used by common people until and unless only very emergency. This is done to curb the increasing number of coronavirus cases, and the deaths are continuously increasing due to coronavirus, and therefore the state government believes to break the chain, all this has to be implemented. With camera person Samir Shanbag, this is Saurabh Bakhtania in Mumbai for India Today.
And let's quickly cut across to India Today's Nabila Jamal as she breaks down the additional restrictions that are being put in place, not just in Mumbai, but across Maharashtra.
I'm going to take you through some of those strict curbs that Maharashtra has now imposed in wake of rising COVID cases. We're looking at least 14-day quarantine period for all those coming into Maharashtra. Inter-district travel quarantine is a must. Public transport now only available for essential services and emergencies. Buses to operate at 50% capacity only. Government offices to operate at 15% capacity only. Whereas marriage functions, only 25 people will be allowed, and that too, the function should take place for only 2 hours.
Now, there has been a spike in number of coronavirus cases, and in some cases, those who were vaccinated not just once, but some who got the second jab also did get the infection. Now, many may argue, what's the point of getting a vaccination? But that's not the correct way to look at the situation. The correct way to look at the situation, as India Today's Sneha Mordani explains, is get the jab, because the impact of the vaccine will ensure that the impact of the infection is much lesser.
10 crore received the first dose and 17,000, that is only 2 per 10,000 got reinfection or got infected again or breakthrough infection.
The government striking a chord of assurance. There has been a sense of panic in the country with news of numerous people getting the infection after getting the first, even the second shot of vaccine against COVID-19. The government is trying to soothe nerves. Here is the data that the government of India has given out. 1.1 crore people in the country have got 2 doses of Covaxin. Cases of reinfection in India after receiving the first dose of Covaxin is 4,208. Those positive after getting 2 doses of Covaxin is 695. 11.6 crore have got 2 doses of Covishield. Whereas after taking Covishield, 70,145 individuals have tested positive. After taking 2 doses of Covishield, 5,014 individuals have tested positive for COVID-19. Not surprising or worrying at the least, say experts.
The numbers are so encouraging. It means that once you're vaccinated, according to the data released, you are 99.96% protected from infection. So in other words, the number of people who have experienced these infections is so small compared to the extraordinarily large number who have received vaccination.
If you look at the sheer percentage, so far, 0.04% of people have tested positive after the second dose of Covaxin and 0.03% after the second dose of Covishield. Medical experts say that vaccines protect you against severe disease and not against infection per se. As is evident, you can also get the infection after 2 doses of the vaccine. Hence, it's extremely important to follow COVID-appropriate behavior. But you also must go and get a shot against COVID-19 if you're eligible now. More so after the 1st of May, when all the adult population in India becomes eligible to get a shot against COVID-19. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
Now, amidst these dark clouds of the pandemic, there are a few streaks of light that shine through, that reassure us that life will go on and there are happier days ahead, God willing. COVID warriors in Jammu, they performed a miracle, a caesarean operation on a COVID-positive mother and ensured the safe delivery of 2 baby girls. Take a look at this report.
Two little bundles of joy, 2 reasons to smile during the gloom and doom of corona pandemic. India is battling a devastating second surge, but our COVID warriors are constantly reassuring us that life will go on. Hero doctors and technicians at a Jammu hospital performed a delicate caesarean operation on a COVID-positive woman. The challenging surgery was a resounding success with safe delivery of 2 baby girls.
बड़े ऑपरेशन से जो दोनों बच्चे हुए हैं और उसके बाद उन्होंने हमारी अच्छी देखभाल की है। जो रिपोर्ट आई है बच्चियों की वो भी नेगेटिव है और जो मदर की है वो भी नेगेटिव है।
Authorities confirmed that the twins are COVID negative.
Babies and mother are both healthy. Only thing is that the mother was COVID positive, but she didn't have any symptoms. Even post-operative also, she is doing very well.
Amid the dark pandemic clouds, there are few streaks of light shining through, giving us occasions to rejoice.
Doctors and health workers across the country are going beyond their call of duty to provide support to the suffering people. The team of doctors that performed a successful caesarean surgery on a COVID-positive woman in Jammu has not only saved the lives of 2 babies and their mother, but also touched many hearts. This is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jammu for India Today.
From arranging blood plasmas to providing food to COVID patients, here's how some residents in Noida adjoining Delhi are helping those in need.
Harish Kumar, a resident of Sector 137 in Noida, works in a pharmaceutical company. Beyond working hours and time from his family, the do-gooder has volunteered to arrange plasma for COVID-19 patients. In 24 hours, he's been able to make an arrangement for Anjali Ganju, who's admitted at the Delhi Gangaram Hospital. She was given a lease of life with donation of 2 plasma sets.
At this point of time, it is really necessary to help the people who are, needing. मैं जैसे ही मैसेज पढ़ता हूँ मतलब व्हाट्सएप के थ्रू फेसबुक या इंस्टाग्राम्स because there are lots of messages flooded. In that way, if I find someone right who is looking for the plasma, then we just distribute that message to the known groups.
Wards are full, hospitals are full.
Yeah.
But I think very tough situation for all of India actually. Arthvyavastha, there is nothing right now.
Harish suffered personal loss when one of his own relatives died and others in his extended family were infected. He says he doesn't want to see others suffer. Another Noida resident, Amit Kumar, was diagnosed with severe COVID months ago. Ever ready to donate plasma, Amit is also helping COVID patients with nutritious meals left outside their homes.
अगर आपको कोविड हुआ है और सच में किसी को मतलब प्लाज्मा की ज़रूरत है और अपने पास एंटीबॉडीज़ हैं और रियली अगर आप किसी की आप हेल्प करना चाहें तो मतलब प्लाज्मा डोनेट करके आप उसकी हेल्प कर सकते हैं जो क्रिटिकल कंडीशन में है। इसके अलावा भी और भी मतलब छोटी छोटी चीज़ें जिनको मान लो एसिम्प्टोमेटिक हैं या माइल्ड है या उनको कोई भी मतलब प्रॉब्लम है घर में या मतलब खाने से रिलेटेड या दवाई से रिलेटेड तो उसके लिए भी आप मतलब अपनी मतलब हेल्प कर सकते हैं।
With shining examples each day, these COVID warriors are restoring faith of an entire nation, inspiring in this big fight back. With Kamaljit Sandhu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Voting is currently underway for the 6th phase of polls in Bengal. 70% voter turnout has been recorded till 4 p.m. Polling in 43 constituencies on. Voters will seal the fate of 306 candidates. BJP leaders Mukul Roy and Arun Singh were spotted early morning exercising their franchise. Other prominent names who are facing the electoral test including TMC ministers Jyotipriya Malik, Chandrima Bhattacharya, CPIM leader Tanmay Bhattacharya, TMC candidate and film director Raj Chakravarti and actor turned political leader Koshani Mukherjee. Sporadic cases of violence have also been reported. The Trinamool Congress accused the BJP of hurling bombs at their workers' house. The BJP alleges that their polling agents were assaulted by the TMC. 2 TMC cadres sustained bullet injuries after CRPF opened fire on a mob that attacked a polling booth and vandalized a bus carrying security forces.
कृष्णनगर चुनाव से लड़ रहा है तो हम कृष्णनगर देखेंगे तो कृष्णनगर में बीजेपी अच्छा स्थिति में है।
ओवरऑल पश्चिम बंगाल में
बीजेपी इस बार पावर में आएगा।
अमित शाह कह रहे हैं 200 से ज्यादा सीट, क्या वो पॉसिबल होगा?
वो 200 के आसपास ही जाएगा।
200 के आसपास जाएगा। क्या उस स्थिति में इस वक्त बीजेपी है? 6 चरण आज चुनाव हो रहा है।
जरूर बीजेपी उस स्थिति में ही है।
देखिए अभी तक तो हमारे जो मेरा पार्लियामेंट्री जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी है ये यहाँ पर हम जो देख रहे हैं पूरा अच्छी तरह से वोट चल रहा है। यहाँ हम कुछ गड़बड़ होने भी नहीं देंगे। इसमें कोई गड़बड़ी करेगा तो प्रशासन तो है ही, सेंट्रल फोर्स भी है, हम लोग भी सचेतन हैं, देख रहे हैं क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं चल रहा है। तो मेरे ख्याल से भाजपा यहाँ बहु संख्या से जीतेगा, ये मेरा उम्मीद है।
And coming up on the other side, news for the...
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.